School Board of Trustees. We will begin with the Pledge of Allegiance. If you would rise. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. So we have a diminished group tonight, small but mighty. So Steve, you want to start the roll call?
Sure. Good evening. Steve Corona from the 5th District.
Tom Smith, 3rd District.
Maria Norman, member at large.
And I'm Julie Hollingsworth, elected from District 1. And to my far left is Angie Filler, who is serving as the clerk of the board for this evening. Good evening. And next to her is our superintendent, Dr. Winnie Robinson. Good evening. Good evening. So the first item on our agenda are awards and recognitions. And we begin with the Fort Wayne Community School students who won regional awards for scholastic art and writing. The Scholastic Art and Writing Awards have recognized student achievement in visual arts and creative writing for 90-plus years. This year, there were 4,310 entries across the region, and 377 gold keys were awarded. Gold key winners went on to the national competition, where 3 Fort Wayne Community School students received national silver medals. Fort Wayne Community Schools had 59 students who won regional gold or silver keys, including these students from Tolles Intermediate School. And at our last meeting, we recognized, I don't know how many students. It had to have been over 100. But for some reason, the information that we got from the Scholastic Art and Writing group left these students off. So we actually, if everybody was here together, I think we had a packed house that day. So, so please come forward as your name is read. Nakizi Guest earned a gold key in art. Vanessa Burkett, a silver key in art. Sophia Shaw, a silver key in art. Gabe Hesting, a silver key in art. And their teacher, Ashley Toy, and Tolles principal, Tim Captain. Did we miss someone, Mr. Captain?
Nope.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
Great. Okay, next we want to recognize the Southside and Snyder High School students who have been selected to participate in the Indiana University Honors Program in Foreign Languages. This program is a 5 to 6 week study abroad program for Indiana high school students. The program combines academic instruction, a mandatory language commitment to speak only in the foreign language while abroad, and a full-time integration into a host family. On average, 30 to 35 students are selected to participate at each program site during June and July. To be eligible to participate in the program, a high school must offer or plan to offer 4 or more years of instruction excuse me, in Chinese, French, German, Japanese, or Spanish. Upon returning from their program, students are required to actively support their foreign language department and contribute to the classroom. This year, we are sending students to Austria, Chile, France, and Spain. Please come forward as your name is read so that we may congratulate you. From Snyder High School, Adam Kurtz. Adam will be visiting Austria. I shouldn't say Austria. You're not visiting, you're going to be studying there. From Southside High School, Michael High will be going to France. And Reagan Gustin, also going to France. From Snyder High School, Josh Kellenberger. I'm sorry, that's the teacher. Never mind. Does Josh get to go anywhere? Also from Southside, Simone Corey, France. Pamu Serrault, also going to France. And Anna McGinnis, going to France. And so the adults responsible for these students and some of their success are Josh Kellenberger, teacher at Snyder. Chad Hisson, principal at Snyder. Taylor Buzzard, teacher at Southside. And Carlton Mabel, principal at Southside.
All right. Stand still. Parents, anyone want to take another one? Keep smiling.
Well, good luck. I hope you have a great summer.
Thank you.
Come back and tell us all about it.
I think that might be a little bit on the book report, though.
So next we have our consent agenda, and these are items that come to us every meeting. They include the approval of the minutes from our last meeting on March 26th. They include vouchers and payroll, vouchers for the periods ending April 9th and April 23rd, and payroll for the periods ending March 16th and March 30th. And then we have a rather lengthy personnel report, including an addendum to that. So, Dr. Robinson, I know there are a few people that you would like to introduce.
Correct. You want me to do
This
that
is,
after?
you want to wait until after?
I can do it after.
Okay, great. So do we have a motion and a second?
So move.
Second.
Thanks, Tom. Thanks, Steve. All those in favor of approval signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Okay, so, and again, this is administrative assignment week, month, month.
Thank you, Mrs.
Take it away.
We had the opportunity before the board meeting to have a reception for people who are either new to their positions, moving to a lateral position. But we are very pleased that for the first time probably since I've been superintendent, we have all of our administrative principal positions filled in April. And that's very important for people who know schools because teachers are trying to find jobs. And most of the time, most people want to know who they're going to work for. One of the things I asked was that those who were upstairs raise their hands if they've been a part of our administrative intern process. And I think just about everybody in the room raised their hands. So we are very proud of growing our own. And we're very proud that we also have some administrators that accepted the challenge of moving to a different position so that their talents could be used someplace else. So most of the moves I announced at the last board meeting, but these are ones that have occurred since then. First, Lindsay Baumgardner. You have to stand up so we can just stare at you. And you have to stay standing while I say things about you. Lindsay is currently the assistant principal at Miami, and she'll become the principal at Northwood. She's been with Fort Wayne Community Schools since 2007. She also has been a part of the intern program. She will be the principal at Northwood because Austin Couch, who is not highlighted tonight, but please stand up, Austin, so we can stare at him. Austin is moving to the HR department. So Lindsay is going to be the new principal at Northwood. Thank you. Thank you, Austin. Rena Clemens. Rena, once again, she started in the district around 2007. She is currently the assistant principal at Portage. She will become the principal at Miami. And Rena's going to Miami because last week we announced that Adam Swinford will be going to Southside. So thank you very much. She was also a part of our intern program. Thank you. Jesse Webb, and Jesse made his daughter come with him, poor child. That's a good dad. Jesse is going to be the FWCS Career Academy principal. He's currently the assistant principal at Snyder High School, and he will be responsible for the Anthus Career Center, the Parkview Education Center, and the other Career Academy locations. He began his education in 2001. He joined us in 2016, but had several experiences in business, math, career ed at other school systems around the state. So thank you. Jennifer Witzegruder, see, I knew I was going to get a mouthful there. Jennifer will become the principal at Tolles. And Jennifer is becoming the principal at Tolles, where she's currently now the assistant principal, the 260. Because Tim Captain, who is said, may stand now, Tim is going to be going to FACE, which is across the street, as the director. So Jennifer began her career with us back in 1995-96. She also was a part of our administrative intern process and has been the assistant principal at Tolles and is also Montessori trained since 2016. And as I said before, she will be replacing Tim Captain. So thank you.
That's it? Okay. And we recognize you are all busy people, and you will not insult us at all if you leave and enjoy your evening. I'm sure you'll run home and watch us on TV.
Notice they're trying to model leadership but leave.
Yeah.
You don't have to stay. This will be one of the few times you get to leave. Next, we'll push you out the door. Go. You got work to do.
So we have no old business. So that brings us to our new business, and the first is, this is kind of interesting, Board of Director appointment to the Northside High School Building Corporation. It's recommended that Timothy Martone be appointed as a member of the Board of Directors of the Northside High School Building Corporation. Appointing Timothy Martone as a member of the Board of Directors of the Northside High School Building Corporation will fill the vacancy caused by the passing of his mother, Patty Martone, and is in accordance with the Code of Bylaws of the Building Corporation. This appointment will be effective immediately and is necessary in order to conclude business related to the Building Corporation. The district wishes to express its deepest sympathies to the Martone family and posthumously thank Mrs. Martone for her many years of service as a member of the Board of Directors of the Northside High School Building Corporation and the contribution she made to the students and residents of Fort Wayne Community Schools serving this role. You have a motion? Second?
So moved.
Second.
Thanks, Steve. Thanks, Maria. So, question. Is this like, the law has changed and we don't need a building corporation anymore?
No.
Or we have a building corporation for the overall, we have a corporation for the overall project that we're doing right now, correct?
Right.
Okay.
These were specific just to
Northside was a
these two projects.
standalone project,
Yeah.
and so we needed a corporation for that?
Yeah.
Okay, okay. And is Mr. Martone here?
He knows
Okay.
that you're doing this, though, and
Right. Well, if you're
gladly
watching at
accepted.
home, Tim, and I know you're retiring this year, so congratulations. So this is just to clean up a little bit of business there at the end because, okay, put that to rest.
He
Okay,
was deeply honored and touched that we would do that in recognition of his mother, so thank you.
great. Okay. All those in favor of approval signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Okay. Next, we have an application for an acceptance of an advancement from the Indiana Common School Fund for educational technology equipment in the amount of $1,950,000. Advancements from the Common School Fund provide funds for school districts to purchase educational technology. Fort Wayne Community Schools will use these monies to help fund the Fort Wayne Community Schools Technology Plan previously submitted to the state. Technology funds are currently insufficient to fund all the technology needs of the school corporation. Funds are provided as a loan and are awarded to the school corporations on the basis of assessed value per pupil. With low assessed value per pupil corporations receiving funds before high assessed value per pupil corporations. Fort Wayne Community Schools therefore cannot be assured of receiving the requested advancement. Should the application be successful, funds will be budgeted in the debt service fund to repay this loan beginning in the year 2020. Interest on the loan is expected to be no more than 4% and is likely to be as low as 1%. Common School Fund advancements differ from school technology advancement account loans, which Fort Wayne Community Schools receives on an annual basis. Unlike CFF advancements, STAA advancements are given to all applying school corporations regardless of their assessed value per pupil. Questions will be answered by Chief Financial Officer Kathy Friend. Do I have a motion and a second?
So moved.
Second.
Thanks, Tom. Thanks, Steve. Any questions? Hey, all those in favor of approval signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, next we have the Anthus temperature controls replacement. It's recommended that the board approve the following construction contract for the replacement of temperature controls at the Anthus, it's the Anthus Career Academy, correct? The supplier is Automated Logic for $150,000. The project consists of the replacement of HVAC temperature controls on 3 air handling units and their related terminal units at the Anthus Center. The existing building automation systems are proprietary, and Automated Logic is a single source vendor for this work. Funding for the project will be from the Capital Projects Fund. Work will be substantially completed by July 25th, 2018. And questions can be answered by Director of Facilities, Darren Hess. So do we have a motion and a second?
So moved.
Second.
Thanks, Maria. Thanks, Tom. Whoever. Any questions?
Darren, was this a project that was on the schedule to happen, or is this something that's happened that we need to cover that wasn't expected?
No, it's expected. The temperature controls there currently were installed in the late 80s, and they're past their due lifespan.
And are they like energy efficient? They're going to save us money, turn the temperature down when no one's in the building, that kind of stuff?
Correct, all of that. The existing controls, they were difficult to control. The new ones are direct digital, so they're computer-based. Yeah, we'll have energy efficiency and better programming availability.
Great. Good.
Okay, thank you. All those in favor of approval signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Okay, next we have the Northrop High School planetarium renovation. It's recommended that the board approve the following contract for renovations of the planetarium at Northrop High School. Ash Enterprises International, Inc., for $185,395. This project includes the repair and retrofit of the existing projection, lighting, and sound equipment, refurbishment of the existing dome structure, and installation of new seating in the planetarium at Northrop High School. Funding for the project will be from the School Building Basic Renewal, Restoration, and Safety Project, in other words, 2016 bond project. Work will be completed in conjunction with the overall renovation of Northrop High School. Do we have a motion? Second?
So moved.
Second.
Thanks, Tom. Thanks, Steve.
I would
Questions?
love to see more information about how we plan to use this once completed, and who we may invite, other students from other grade levels or whatever that plan is.
How it's used.
Yeah.
I have a question that's not really related to the planetarium, but it's a little hard to miss when you drive by Northrop, the piles of dirt. Could you kind of explain to those who might drive by and wonder what's happening, what's going on right now?
Well, along Coldwater Road, we're installing a sidewalk that we currently do not have there. That's tied into our certificate occupancy for the new addition. Right outside door 1, we have started foundation work for the small office addition that will get tucked kind of underneath that canopy that will provide our new secure vestibule. So that'll be available this fall. And some of the area with the stone, that's some staging for the contractor for their equipment and some of the parking, because we had to take over the visitor, or not the visitor, but the staff lot to the north, because that's where our modular units are. So we have 14 classrooms out in the parking lot right now that are getting constructed. And then to door 7, I believe, a covered walkway. So when they leave the academic wing, they stay in a secure hallway that leads right into the modular units. And that'll be constructed for this fall as well and be ready to go.
I just noticed as I'm driving, people are trying to slow down to see what's going on. So I thought we'd just kind of tell them what's happening. Thank you, Darren.
So does anyone, and don't we, I know when I visited Northrop before, I think we do, I mean, I know we have someone that is in charge of the planetarium, and I think they teach an astronomy class there, don't they?
Yeah, I don't know the specifics, but I do know they use it for, I believe, 4 of the periods or 5 of the periods of the day.
Okay.
And then he also teaches another science class, but
'Cause he was
it's currently
showing me the
programmed.
Controls, and I assume they're the original controls.
They are.
With
They are.
the little sliding things, and because you can project different constellations on the dome of the planetarium, I think, right?
That's correct.
Yeah, okay. But yeah, maybe we can get more information about exactly how that's going to be used. Okay, thanks. Okay, all those in favor of approval signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, next we have the Firehouse Subs Public Safety Foundation grant application. It's recommended that the board approve the application for and acceptance of, if awarded, a grant for Internet Protocol cameras at Kikianga Middle School through the Firehouse Subs Public Safety Foundation grant in the amount of $24,997.52. The Firehouse Subs Public Safety Foundation grant provides funds for public safety organization and nonprofits for life-saving equipment and other apparatus that protect lives and property. This competitive grant, written by Dottie Davis, Director of Security, and Deb Marone, Consultant, supports Fort Wayne Community School Goal 1, achieve and maintain academic excellence through safe and supportive schools. And Director of Security, Dottie Davis, is available to answer any questions. So do we have a motion? Second?
So moved.
Second.
Thanks, everyone. So, so Dottie, just out of curiosity, why does Kikianga have the greatest need, or?
So we are, through Phase 1 and Phase 2 of the bond, working toward upgrading all schools to Internet Protocol cameras. The middle schools should be done by another 1.5 years, and so we're able, through this grant, to move one of the buildings forward on that timeline.
Okay.
And this is money, not equipment, if we get it.
This is equipment. This will be for the actual cameras.
I mean, they're not providing us the equipment. They're providing us the money to buy the equipment?
That is correct.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Any other questions? Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
All those in favor of approval signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Next, we have the purchase of Microsoft EES license agreement from Bell Technologic of Indianapolis, Indiana. It's a 3-year license agreement for $448,774.11. This purchase provides Microsoft Windows and Office licenses for all district-owned devices. The EES license also includes Minecraft for education and many of the core data center products such as server operating systems and desktop management tools. Students and staff will still be able to download Microsoft Office on up to 5 personal devices at no cost. Indiana law does not require public bidding for purchases made below state quantity purchasing pricing. The price of this license agreement is less than QPA pricing. Funding will come from the Capital Projects Fund, and Director of Technology, Jack Bird, is available to answer any questions. We have a motion, second?
So moved.
Second.
Thanks, Tom. Thanks, Maria. So Jack, Minecraft for education, is that going to be one of our platforms for teaching computer science K through 12?
That's one of the platforms we're considering, and since it comes with the EES agreement, and there is curriculum that is aligned to standards built around that, that is something that we will be examining to
Okay, so
address.
we haven't settled on
That's
a
correct.
curriculum yet?
Yeah, there's a
Okay.
couple of different options that we're looking at, Minecraft for education being one of them.
Okay. Any other questions? Okay, thanks, Jack. Oh, when do you anticipate, sorry about that. So, when will we make that decision by, I'm curious.
We're starting some initial planning right now. Next week, we will, start having meetings and talking to curriculum, talking to some teachers that have already tried some of the different approaches to computer science in the curriculum to see what option we would like to standardize on. So we're
Okay.
just beginning the investigation right now.
Great. And are we getting any direction from the IDOE?
The IDOE right now isn't providing direction. They're still in the process of seeing what they're going to settle on.
Right.
Right now, there's a lot of discussion around code.org, which I think we've talked about here in the board meeting before. It's a very excellent resource that, teachers have used as well.
Okay. Thanks. Okay, all those in favor of approval signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, next we have Battelle for Kids. It's recommended that the board approve the contract with the not-for-profit Battelle for Kids to provide human capital consulting services for the remainder of this year and for 2018-19 school years. The amount of $1,147,246 will be paid through the U.S. Department of Education Teacher and School Leadership Incentive Program Grant, or the PEER grant. That's our acronym. Battelle for Kids will focus on developing the knowledge and skills of human capital leaders at Fort Wayne Community Schools, which includes professional learning on HR organizational development, compensation systems review, and process improvement. This contract supports Fort Wayne Community School Goal 1, achieve and maintain academic excellence. And Chief Operations Officer Charles Kamick is available to answer any questions. We have a motion, second?
So moved.
Second.
Thanks, Tom. Thanks, Maria.
How,
Any questions?
yes, how long is this contract?
We are asking the board to fund for this school year and next school year, and we have a review
Oh.
process where if we need to go further, we'll come back.
Got it, sorry.
One of the things that we probably need to do is to periodically bring back and have a work session on status report. If you remember when we talked about the peer grant, about 40% of the money goes to teachers in terms of paying them for professional learning, and a bulk of that is for that curriculum writing process that we'll talk to you about. But the other is to have consultants such as Battelle, Learning Forward, New York City Leadership Academy, to train our people, so that when the grant is gone, we're not having to worry about bringing somebody else in. So I'm really excited about this one, because HR is one of those processes. To me, HR functions and curriculum functions, when they don't work, the district's just a little bit off kilter. And as our hiring needs change, as our staff matures, we are having to deal with some HR processes that in the past we didn't have to. Recruitment, and you were witnessing the intern program. So what we want to do is to make sure that those are clean processes, that when we're done with this 2 years with them, that there's somebody internally, that's one of the reasons Austin's coming down, that can be the one to do that. Because when the peer grant's gone, it's gone. So I think we just need to do that, Charles. Start kind of having maybe another session. You did the original one. Well, what's the status and where are we with some of that? Because we're going to start bringing these kind of things to the board.
And we've got some other work sessions in mind, too, and I'm not sure we've sent anything out yet.
We haven't.
Maybe next week, we can
We
send
will.
that out to try to see when everybody's available and
Right.
get those scheduled.
Right. I'll see if Angie can do that for us, because Janet's not here this week. The legislative session is one we were going to have follow-ups, but we'll get those out.
Okay. All those in favor of approval signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, and that brings us to Amplify Education, Inc. It's recommended that the board approve the purchase of assessments with Amplify Education, Inc., totaling $192,484.62. This purchase renews M-Class platform and Reading 3D for grades K through 12, M-Class Math for grades K through 12, and Dibble's Next software and assessment for grades 4 and 5. These Amplify products are foundational skills assessments used to track student progress and compare performance with research-based benchmark goals. Amplify is the sole source provider of these foundational skills assessments. The cost of the assessments will be paid from the 2017-18 Formative Assessment Grant awarded by the Indiana Department of Education. And questions will be answered by Tracy Williams, Chief Academic Officer. So we have a motion and a second?
So moved.
Second.
Thanks, Maria. Thanks, Steve.
So Tracy,
Question?
these assessments are for us to be able to report to the state how our students are progressing.
Yes, it provides us an opportunity, it provides us an opportunity to see where our students are with foundational reading skills over the course of the school year.
We don't necessarily have to report these to the state.
I was going to say.
But the state gives us a pot of money to buy assessments to support the state assessments.
Okay.
So right now, we're kind of like in a never land, because they haven't finalized the state assessments. And so we'll be having conversations, Tracy's working through with that, with Jim Detmer and others, and but this is what we know right now. And when they finalize what they're doing, we're going to match what supports the classroom based upon what they're going to be held accountable for.
Okay. Any other questions? Okay, all those in favor of approval signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Okay, well, that brings us to the end of our agenda. We don't have any additional, we don't have any reports. This evening, our next meeting is going to be Monday, May 7th. So, board member comments. Steve?
Sure, got a couple of things this evening. First of all, just wanted to recognize and thank our friends here sitting in the front row in these very nice, attractive green shirts. They're some of our employees represented by the American Federation of State, County, Municipal Employees, and I had a chance to just say hi to their representative, Eugene Collins, and I know there's a matter that you'd like to resolve with the district. The school board doesn't get involved in those matters, but hopefully that you'll have a good, positive conversation with our administrative staff. So the T-shirts say, AFSCME, their initials, and then "We Make America Happen," and I believe that. So thank you for being here. Secondly, I was at the NSBA conference, the National School Board Association conference in San Antonio, and just wanted to report on two things. I had a chance to meet an interesting gentleman, and I'm pulling up his name, Bob McLaughlin, who is head of a national organization that is focused on closing the digital gap with students. So many students don't have internet access or don't have laptops. Bob has a number of ideas. He's the executive director of the National Collaborative for Digital Equity, and I just sent this to the superintendent and Jack Bird about his interest in creating an event in Fort Wayne. So anyway, we'll take a look at it. I like what he's talking about, and if the timing is right, perhaps we can do something with their group. Secondly, I was reelected to a 3-year term on the Council for Urban Boards of Education on their steering committee. So we've been a part of that for a good number of years, and we bring some good information back. A couple of years ago, we were recognized by the organization CUBE as one of their school boards of the year for the work that we've been doing and accomplishing here in Fort Wayne. And finally, I just wanted to note the passing of Leonard Goldstein, who was a member of the Fort Wayne School Board in the 70s. I was not on the board at the time, but as a reporter, I covered the district, and Leonard was on one of those boards. He was a great guy, lived down the street from me on Sherwood Terrace. He and his wife Ricky lived near Foster Park. There's a great article in this afternoon's digital copy of the News Sentinel, and I just want to read one paragraph from that. Leonard was involved for more than 30 years with the American Civil Liberties Union of Indiana, which he described in 2016 as a natural thing for me because of his strong passion for ensuring people receive just and fair treatment. Leonard was 97 years old and tried for so many years to desegregate our elementary schools in the 70s. Did not happen, but later on we did make that happen. So Leonard Goldstein was 97. Condolences to his wife, Ricky, and the Goldstein family.
I have no comments.
No comment.
Dr. Robinson?
Lots going on. I'd just like to say that Mr. Goldstein, even though he served on the board in the 70s, whenever there was a situation that occurred or something that he thought either infringed upon students or adults, he would always send me a note. I just think that people like him who continued to care, he was truly a citizen, a Fort Wayne citizen who cared for everybody. So thank you for bringing that up. We've been busy. At the next, we're going to probably need to have some work sessions because there's not enough time within the board meetings. We're in conversations with the Teachers Association. We pretty much have a structure for what we're going to be doing with the curriculum writing with teachers. We also have a structure for what we're going to be doing the last couple of weeks in 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th, right, Tracy? In terms of the math work. And so we've got a couple of conversations. We have the Teachers Union tomorrow?
Yes.
Yeah, I think tomorrow, right?
Tomorrow, 4:45.
For tomorrow, and it's a normal part of our discussion process, and then we'll be trying to get that information out to teachers, and then we'll share that with the board in a work session so you can kind of see the kind of work that's going to happen. We also are just in the process. It's amazing to me that we've got about a month and a half left, if we have that long. And so we're preparing for graduations. And about a week ago, we were talking about graduations for the next 5 years. So I love it when people say, you know, school's almost out, your work is winding down. This is really the time that most of the work occurs. We'll be sharing with board members and the public at large the support we're going to provide administrators and teachers through the summer through the peer grant. So it'll probably take us 1 or 2 work sessions to kind of talk about all of that, but just wanted you to know those plans are being solidified, and as we finish the steps we need to take with the Teachers Association to talk about a lot of that, we'll start talking about that out loud. Allocations are pretty much set. We're still making sure we've got, Charles, next week or this week, we're doing final teacher interviews. Is there a job for this week or next week?
This week.
And so we're feeling pretty confident that we can have most people where they need to be and have people know what jobs they're going to have within the next couple of weeks. So life is good and busy.
Great. And I also went to the National School Board Association Conference. I saw Steve on stage, but I don't think he saw me. It was a big place. But I went to a coding session offered by Apple, which is probably one of the programs along with Minecraft that you're looking at. Apple offers Swift, I think.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. And they showed they've got curriculum. I mean, I'm not giving a plug because I'm sure you can get the same thing elsewhere, but they've got a K through 12 curriculum, including texts and software, and if that kind of thing interests you, I believe you can download for free the Swift, what's it called? Swift something.
We just call it Swift.
Yeah, maybe just Swift. But you can download that if you're interested in the coding, which kind of does the same thing that Minecraft does, because I've used that too. And then I also went to a session sponsored by a district that does micro-credentialing.
Oh.
And Charles, I know that's something that we're involved in, a way for the district to provide a way for teachers and other, administrators, all staff members to get additional credentialing. So that was pretty interesting too. And of course, this year is, as we know, the legislators will have a one-day special session. And for those of you who follow education, it does look as though House Bill 1315 will be on the agenda, which will end a Democratic school board in Muncie and end a democratically elected school board in Gary. And if you believe in public education, I hope that concerns you. And you take the opportunity to write your representative and senator about that, because though, that can be a slippery slope. And I'm sure those teachers at Muncie and administrators there never thought that could happen to them. And that's concerning to me, and I know I will be writing my representatives. So that session is on May 14th. So that's all I have. So,
Move to adjourn, Madam President.
okay.
Second.
Okay. All those in favor of adjourning, signify by saying aye.
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 Okay. No one opposed?